Haha, the Cavs just robbed the NBA. The Cavaliers were able to select Tyrese Proctor, who was projected to be a very early second round pick in the late 40s with their first second round draft pick. And this means so much because not only is Tyrese Proctor a great player, there are two free agents for the Cavaliers who are both guards, and it looks like Proctor is in the perfect position to help out and fill those needs with a cheap contract instead of re-signing a guard for an expensive contract. I'm Matt Blaney here at Cavs Digest. I'm so happy to create this video for you guys. I hope you're seeing this. I hope everyone has a good night, and I hope everyone enjoyed the draft. I know we had to wait a whole day for it. I'm Matt Blaney here at Cavs Digest. Of course, as I just said, I know, it was a little bit of a break from me. This is, a whole 24 hours is not consistent for me. But anyways, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because updates like this are going to come out all off season because it's officially the season. The Thunder won the NBA championship. The NBA draft is over. It's time for the big things to happen. And the Cavaliers just made a big play by drafting Tyrese Proctor, 48th overall. Let's go. I'm so happy right now. With the 49th overall pick, the Cavs get Tyrese Proctor. And it is so heartwarming to me that they were able to draft him. Not only because of the fact that he's a good player, because of the fact that he was supposed to go earlier and he fell and teams were disrespecting or something about him they didn't like, and there was no problems really. They just didn't really want him and he fell, and the Cavaliers now have him who can replace two of their guards who are free agents and who they might struggle to re-sign this offseason. So let's talk about Proctor and everything he has to bring. So these are the two guards that are both on expiring contracts right now. Ty Jerome and Sam Merrill are both on contracts where it looks like they might not be in a position to return to the Cavs, although they might be a priority. Now that the Cavs got Proctor, they might not be a priority anymore. First of all, it's the name Duke University, of course, Tyrese Proctor went to, and he was a bucket. This guy had one of the cleanest step-back threes I think I've ever watched in collegiate basketball. I watch maybe more college basketball than I do the NBA. This guy is a bona fide bucket. Like, he has one of the most prettiest isolations. Like, the step back three that he has is just so pretty. He's just an absolute bucket. He's one of the best ISO players in the whole country, in the collegiate country. He was so good. And the fact that he fell, he plays so similar to Ty Jerome. They're kind of small. Just now, we don't have to pay Ty Jerome $14 million to keep. You can now just go ahead and rock with Tyrese Proctor, who is a stud. Let's talk about, it's not just me that feels this way, by the way, guys, but I totally believe that this is a robbery that this guy fell. Let's look at what other people are saying. The Cleveland selected Duke guard Tyrese Proctor, who entered the NBA draft process as one of the elite sharpshooters in the 2025 class, averaging 12.4 points while shooting 40.5% from three-point range. The 6'6 guard slid in the draft after being mocked as an early second-round pick. Volume, shooting, and solid playmaking and size. The Cavaliers are adding a perfect backcourt player on a cost-effective contract. Boom. So it's not just me that feels this way, guys. Like, you see it right here. It's not just me. I promise it's not just me. I am not the only person that loves this pick. I promise I'm not, guys. This player is so incredibly good. And there's another thing I have to show you guys. This is another reason why drafting him is awesome. Like, this is just simple as this, why drafting this player is so great for the Cavs. With it unclear that the Cavs can hang on to backup guards Ty Jerome and Sam Merrill, who are each free agents, Proctor provides the Cavs some insurance at the position. Proctor showed he can be knockdown shooting. He can be a knockdown shooter from three-point range in his final season at Duke, hitting 40.5% of his threes. He also proved to be a strong on-ball defender in college, which is the biggest thing about him. He'll need to get stronger to defend in the NBA, but he has the length needed to become a good defensive player at this level. Combine that with his shooting, and he's got the ability to become a solid addition to the Cavs rotation, and that's all a contending team can ask for out of a second-round pick this deep in the NBA draft. That last sentence is the biggest thing to know, guys. The Cavaliers are a contending team, or, well, we thought so at least. They were kind of a contending team, and they fell late in the draft because, of course, they traded picks for Donovan Mitchell. They had no first-round picks, so they had to try to get something, and they ended up getting Tyrese Proctor, who, as you saw in the last thing, this is the best thing you could ask for. Somebody who's willing to take over for Ty Jerome and Sam Merrill, who you might have to pay a pretty penny for, specifically Ty Jerome, but you could just go ahead and replace him with this guy. Another thing that I love about Proctor, this quote specifically, I don't think basketball is all about scoring. I'm just out there trying to make winning plays. This is just a cool quote that I wanted to include. Showing you that this guy wants to win games, man. You saw my Duke 1 seed made it to the Final Four. They really, really played phenomenal for the whole tournament, the whole season. They're the best team in the country for a lot of times, of course. His teammate went number 1 overall. Of course, they had other teammates that got drafted. But Tyrese Proctor is an absolute star. This is just a steal in the draft. Completely replaces two guys that you might lose, especially Ty Jerome, because as I showed you in the highlights, this guy and Ty Jerome play very, very similar ISO guys. But this Tyrese Proctor proved that he can be an NBA. If he gets stronger, he's 6'4". If he gets stronger, then he will be a great NBA defender. If he's willing to be physical, this is the perfect guy for the Cavaliers especially at the 49th overall pick. You can't really ask for too much. Ask for a complete star, especially with the fact Niang, I don't know how to say his first name, Salou Niang, who is probably going to be a draft and stash guy. This guy is not going to really play much, but this is who they drafted later in the draft. It's not going to happen. 58, I believe they had. This is just not, like, this guy's not really going to play, but this video is specifically about Tyrese Proctor. We're focusing on Tyrese Proctor. The one biggest concern I have with Proctor is if he gets like a Jalen Tyson treatment, where the Cavs just do not want to trust a younger guy and they just don't want to play a younger guy, so they're just going to keep Jalen Tyson rotting as a two-way player in the G League and the NBA. Same with Amani Bates, and kind of Craig Porter Jr. kind of rots on the bench. But Tyrese Proctor seems so NBA ready, and that's what I love the most about him. He seems so NBA ready, and it just was the perfect pick that you can have. And the fact that these teams who, as I showed you in the first quote, who was projected as an early second-round pick and fell to the 49th pick, this is a steal and a robbery for the Cavaliers. Of course, as I said, I don't want him to get the Jalen Tyson treatment. That's something I'm very, very worried about because this guy is just an absolute hooper. Like, Tyrese Proctor is a great player, and he's someone who can score the ball at an elite level and just create shots. I showed you in these ISO, come guard me clips. This guy is a pure talent on the offensive side. He's proved at Duke, in the ACC, and in the whole March Madness tournament that this guy can play defense as well. And that's the biggest thing. If we can finally find a guard that's willing to be as physical as possible and not get exposed as a ball handler like Ty Jerome did, then this is just incredible. It kind of reminds, he plays so similar to Jared McCain, who was just drafted at Duke last year. They have such a similar play style. Yes, McCain was better and was drafted higher and proved himself as a rookie until his injury, sadly. Proctor could get playing time early into the season. I talked about Craig Porter Jr., and personally, I will say this, I'm not the biggest Craig Porter fan, but I do want him to get minutes and see what he can do. I think Proctor is 100% ready to play at least 10 minutes in his first NBA game. Do I think it will happen? No. But you have to understand where the Cavs were in this draft, how they drafted late, and the fact that they were able to get a guy this late in the draft who was supposed to be drafted probably 32nd, 33, 34. At the latest, at the first mock draft I looked at had him at 39 to the Raptors. But, he just fell to the Cleveland Cavaliers at 49, and I'm so ecstatic that I can say that the Cavs got a robbery with Tyrese Proctor Jr. Hopefully, he doesn't get treated like Jalen Tyson. Hopefully, this guy gets a legitimate chance and he can prove himself as a good player. Hoping he can stay healthy because I love Tyrese Proctor because these two guys might be gone and the Cavs might need some help at the guard position. At first, when I saw it, I was like, dang, we just drafted a guard. Like, oh, man, that's useless. But then I realized it's Tyrese Proctor, and we might lose two guards this offseason. And you can get this guy for a cheap rookie multi-year deal. I love this draft pick, and I'm so happy to share this with you guys. So thank you guys for joining me today on Cavs Digest. I'm Matt Belangi. I appreciate you guys. Go comment, like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Let me know how you guys feel about this Tyrese Proctor draft. I'm assuming Niang is going to be a draft and stash player, but Tyrese Proctor, I think, is going to be a great player for the Cavaliers, and I'm so happy they drafted him. So comment, let me know how you guys think, and of course, thank you guys for joining me.